Hello.
Hello. But we're back.
We're back.
We're back, baby. What episode is this?
8,
Are you sure?
7?
Are
I
you
think it's
sure?
7.
No, it's definitely not.
Is that?
It's not. It's eight. You
It
were
is
right.
8.
Yeah. Reflections on eight, number eight. Eight is your favorite number?
Favorite number, yeah.
Yeah.
Been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's been enjoyable every
Mm-hmm.
time. Even when we mess up or we miss the mark,
Yeah.
we loop back around to fix it.
Yeah. Nice.
Pretty good. How do you feel about 8?
I'm impressed with our ability to do it.
I would say that we stuck around doing the 8.
Yeah. Well, and I see a lot of YouTubers that have lamented, and including my brother.
Mm.
Link down below in the thing, whatever description. It's Dan's news. I've heard YouTubers lament about like production schedules are challenging. Granted, we have a very small scale
Yeah.
production. I just got a ring light, so I'm like super jazzed. No more desk lamp pointed straight up for us. And you've had a ring light, but whatever. That we've been able to be consistent with it, and I feel like we're getting better all the time.
Yeah. I'm happy with that we're sticking to as much of a schedule as we can.
Right.
And it appears as though that we are getting better at it as we do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always fun.
So we're gonna do a thing. I'm really excited about the main topic today.
Nice.
Do you have a thing?
I do, yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel okay.
Okay.
It's
Awesome.
not going to be as earth-shattering as you hope.
Everything you say is earth-shattering.
Mm.
Did you just eye flirt with me?
Mm.
Quit it. I mean, huh? How do we want to decide who goes first? Because it's becoming a small tradition to have some awkward little game we play.
Pick a number.
Who's going to pick the number?
I have a number in my head. Number 1 through 10.
If I get it, I get to pick.
Yeah, sure.
Whoever gets closest
Whoever
without
gets,
going over?
yeah.
Like Price is Right rules?
Yeah, you do a number 1 through 10. I'll do a number 1 through 10. Whoever's closer wins.
Okay. All right. I've got my number.
4. I have my number.
8.
My number was 6.
My number was 8.
So you win.
So you'll go first this time.
Yeah.
Should we just set that to be the...
Probably.
I don't know if that game made sense, but I
Made
won,
sense to
so
me.
I don't care. When we come back, you will see David's diatribe about something sure to be earth-shattering,
Nope.
monumental,
Nope.
epic.
Nope.
He hates that.
I do.
He hates that. All right, we'll be right back.
Oh, wait.
You thought you were jumping right in. You're not.
Nope.
We're here to ask you to please like,
Comment,
share,
subscribe,
do all of those things. And
hit the bell.
Hit the bell to receive notifications. And in between, we're going to have little pop-up episodes called Supplemental Uselessness.
Or in betweenies.
Check us out. Drop a comment. We will respond to every single one of them. That's a commitment I'm making to you right now.
Probably will.
I definitely will.
Yeah. Anything that irks me, I talk about. People fascinate me and the choices that they decide to make.
Anything else you'd like to say about it?
Nah.
Fair enough. Welcome to
David's Diatribe.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, go.
Everyday Carry, or EDC.
Okay, this is a niche thing. I don't know what this is. I'm going to settle in.
EDC, or Everyday Carry, is all of the little knickknacks that I have.
You have a lot of knickknacks.
Yeah, like the flashlights and the Leathermans and all that stuff. I'm a fan of Gerber a little more than I am of Leatherman. I know that's controversial, but that is what I like.
So controversial.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I have realized that a Leatherman, or a multi-tool in particular, is not necessarily necessary for an average consumer.
Okay. Do you consider yourself to be an average consumer, seeing that you are kind of an expert in this subject?
I consider myself an average user because of how I use it. So when I use a multi-tool, it's usually the pliers, a knife, like a pry bar.
What don't you like about these things?
No, I like all of those.
You like all of them?
Yeah, what I don't like is the file, like a metal file.
Yeah.
If you are interested in a multi-tool, like recently I got the Leatherman Arc.
Yes,
It's
you
a really
did.
good one.
It's
You got it
great.
for me. It's great.
You're welcome. I
I
totally know what it is.
utilize the scissors,
Yeah.
the knife,
Yeah.
and the pliers. All of the other stuff, I don't really use. I have found that what you should be interested in are the tools that you will use in your day-to-day.
So basically, you need to take pieces from all of these things and jam it into one.
Or you take all of those pieces that you like and remove them. So if you want pliers, you just get a little small set of pliers.
But then you don't have a multi-tool. You just have multiple tools.
Yeah. For me, it's a matter of spending $400 on a multi-tool and using 4 tools out of the 12.
In like those crowds, are there like, check out my Leatherman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a
I mean, that's
substantial enough collection to be like, well, look at mine?
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your pitch is you would almost rather have individual tools.
At this stage in my life,
More what
I
you
would
need.
rather have a couple tools that I will use a lot for a fraction of the price of a multi-tool that I will only use 4 out of the 12 tools. But yeah, the main point is if you are interested in everyday carry type stuff, I would maybe step back a bit. You should bring it back to your life and how you use them.
Yeah.
And then go from there. This has been David's Diatribe.
Very good. That was earth-shattering. Kinda. Not at all hot take, a lukewarm look at something that has happened that I'm like, I would like to offer my 2 cents on that subject. If I am topical, it was topical 15 years ago. So let's take a lukewarm look at something nonsensical and fun. Welcome to Kelley's Not at All Hot Take, my lukewarm take. And this one, I honestly have no idea how or when, and you'll understand more in a minute because you have painstakingly tried to help with this particular topic. Do you know what I'm about to say?
I believe so, yeah.
So listen, I'm going to go, and I'm just going to go. I don't understand, and I don't want to 3D printing. I don't get it. I don't want to get it. It's weird. It's the devil. And but where's it coming from? Where's it going? How does it know how to do that? How does it know where to go? And how does the air stop it from going? It doesn't make any sense. Stop. I don't care. I don't get it.
Yeah, how it uses
I don't like it. I am offended at this point by the just uncomprehendable nature of a 3D printer. I don't get it. And apparently it's going to save our life and change our world and whatever. When did they come out? Do you know?
A handful of years ago now, yeah.
Well, that was the start of the end of times. I don't get it. I don't know how anybody gets it. And I think anybody that says they get it is lying. This is the thing. I understand in my brain. Like I'm not a dumb person.
Nope.
How does material with mass stop midair?
Math.
That's not how math works, though. You have
math and engineering.
Stop it. It's one of those things. It's like AI. We don't know how it works. It just works. And that's what I've come to believe. That's a core belief in me.
Okay.
You will not shake it. I don't want to know at this point because of how much time I've invested in trying to know.
So you feel as though the amount of time you've invested in
It's
trying to know, you've not gotten it, and so you're just super mad about it?
I've just maxed out. I
Okay.
really did try. And then like I comically pulled back and just like, I don't get it. Da, da, da. And then I like really did
Yeah.
try again.
Yeah, I've known at least twice that you've tried.
I don't get it.
Mm.
I don't like it. If you use it practically because you, whatever, I don't care. Stop it. I don't like them.
It is pretty cool though.
This has been my lukewarm take, and I encourage everyone to adopt my stance on it. You never know what the main topic is.
I never do.
You like it that way.
I do.
It surprises you, excites you.
Excites, intrigues. I don't know if it ever shocks me.
Well, that'll be my goal, is to shock you. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Here we are. We're at the main topic. We have arrived. Today we're going to talk about two different things.
Okay.
But they are connected. And I think you'll get there in a second. Do you know what the main topic is?
I do not.
Do I have to keep asking you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Today we are going to talk about the Kardashev Scale.
Excuse me?
Okay, good. Yay! I thought you might know. And I think you
Maybe
probably
if I,
do
yeah.
once we get into it. We're going to talk about the Kardashev Scale. And if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize.
Mhm.
So here we are. Kardashev Scale is how civilizations have harnessed the energy available to them.
Okay.
There's 3 different types. There are more types and subtypes and things like that. But we're going to talk about the big 3 today. Type 1 civilization is when a civilization has harnessed all of the energy of its host planet. Type 2 is when a civilization has harnessed the energy of its star. And type 3 is when a civilization has harnessed the energy of an entire galaxy that it's in. The 3 are going to be what we talk about, and it's going to lead us into something that we've talked about before, kind of danced around the edges of, the Fermi Paradox. It's a favorite of mine. In the philosophical world, it's my favorite paradox. Do you remember what the Fermi Paradox is?
I'm pretty sure it's the whole simulation thing.
Sort of, but not really.
Okay.
So the Fermi Paradox is the question, where is everybody?
Where is everybody?
Where is everybody? If life has sprung up here on Earth, and we are a civilization with technology, and there are, probability speaking, billions of other stars just like ours, with planets orbiting it just like ours, where is everyone? So that's the question. On the surface, I feel like a lot of these like names and types and things like that, it starts to feel really out of reach very quickly, but it's really not. And I feel like anybody can talk about it because it's like a fundamental philosophical question. Like, are we alone? And if we are, why are we alone?
Yeah.
And if we're not, where is everybody?
Right.
That's kind of what we're talking about. What are your initial thoughts? Hit me.
It seems interesting. We could get a little crunchy maybe, or
Crunchy?
Yeah, in terms of like deep into lore and nerds and stuff.
Well, it's important to point out that I am not a physics major, and there is so much overlap between philosophy and physics.
Yeah.
The science of it all, I don't know, don't understand. I'm not even going to attempt to talk about or like explain to you because I don't know. That's a question for the science community, and that will stay where it is. Yeah, just keeping it to the philosophical questions of it. So talking about the Kardashev scale, is that something you've heard about before?
Not a little bit.
Not even a little bit?
Nope.
Okay. Type 1 is you have harnessed the energy of your planet.
Yeah.
Right. So it will probably be a shock to no one we are like 3/4 of the way to type 1.
Yeah.
It's estimated will be a full type 1 civilization based on this scale in about 100 years or so. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
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 Do you think we will actually get there?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we as humans, if there's a goal, we will achieve it. Even if it's
Okay.
something that we don't realize is going to happen, we'll do it just by doing what we normally do.
That's shockingly optimistic.
Mm.
We sit down to do these, and I am always kind of like,
Well,
you're
optimistic
more of an
in
upper than
yeah,
I give you credit for.
optimistic in the sense that we're going to blow ourselves up. Yeah.
So this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is why we talk about both at the same time.
Mhm.
The idea of if there are these types of civilizations out there,
Yeah.
we would have seen it. We would have communicated with it. If you have taken, as a civilization, if you have taken control of your host star,
Mhm.
there would be fingerprints galactically
Mhm.
of
And
that.
star is our planet.
No, star,
Star is our
So-
sun.
correct.
Okay.
So type 1 is complete control of your planet, your
Yeah.
host planet. Type 2 is
Two
complete
is-
control of your host star
Okay.
in your
In
solar
your
system.
solar system. Okay.
Yes. It's estimated that if we don't annihilate ourselves, we will get to type 2 within 1,000 years or so.
Mhm.
And these are all estimates based on
Sure.
just what I kind of Googled very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are those that could say I'm wrong, but we're having a philosophical discussion, not a scientific one. I'm just going to preface that every 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Do we want to do a warning preface incoming? Like throw it back?
Yeah. Let's do like a nerd alert, nerd alert.
Okay. You think we'll get to type 1, but you said it in such a way that maybe not.
No, we will blow ourselves up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we won't get to type 1. We'll get so close and then it will just.
Well, when I say blow ourselves up, like we will consume all of the energy that we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, there is a not 0% chance that we are going to do something that's going to catastrophically explode us.
Mhm.
But I would be willing to bet that we might make it so that we use up all our energy.
Okay. That would mean we fail to get to type 1
Mm.
because we have consumed the planet and not harnessed its energy.
Yeah.
So you don't think we'll get there?
I don't, if that's the criteria,
Okay.
I don't think that we would be able to harness our energy
Mhm.
to propel us forward.
With that thought in your brain, do
Mhm.
you think we're alone? Do you think Earth is unique?
I would have to say no. I don't think it's unique. Just because the galaxy is gigantic.
Yeah.
And we don't know, we can't see far enough to know where anything else is.
So do you think there are type 2 civilizations out there?
Sure.
Do you think there are type 3 civilizations out there
Sure.
that have harnessed the power of their galaxy?
Yeah.
But we won't make it.
No.
What sets us apart in good ways and apparently bad ways?
Our selfishness, our political ideals, our ability to argue and fight and not come together as a society to benefit the greater good of all, not just a
Humanity.
particular side.
So let's rewind into like the deep past, right? So
Mhm.
humans are approximately however old. I'm going to Google real quick because I don't want this to be wrong. About 200,000 years.
Okay.
In 200,000 years, we've gone from basically apes
Yeah.
to flying to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale, that would indicate we are capable of some pretty gnarly things.
Oh, yeah, we're capable of just about anything.
At what point do you think it will turn and be like, "Oh, okay, we've reached the maximum of what we can achieve because we're going to kill each other"?
Whoever's running the place and whoever's in charge and the people that is under them will dictate what we do and don't do.
With the Fermi Paradox,
Hmm.
there's the idea of the great filter.
Yeah. I've
And
heard the term.
you've heard the term.
Mhm.
Okay. The great filter is the idea that there is something either in our past or in our future that blocks development of a civilization past a certain point.
Hmm.
Some have suggested that it is something like the amino acids coming together to form life
Hmm.
is the great filter. Like that is just incredibly rare. And then others have said things like AI and nuclear technology and all of those other things. So it's in our future
Yeah, technological advances.
or other things that we cannot yet imagine. Because 100 years ago, if you would have said AI to somebody, they'd have been like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the great filter idea?
It makes as much sense as it can to me.
But probabilities, from what you said earlier, we're not alone.
I want to believe.
I want to believe.
I mean, there are some civilizations where, groups of individuals care more about the sustainability of the group
Mm-hmm.
than an individual person.
Mm-hmm.
And so they will all come together and stockpile food and water and make sure, elders are cared for and
Resources.
all of that stuff. Yeah. Whereas and again, maybe this is just me being jaded and, semi old, but we're just a little bit more, I think we're the society in which we live just seems too selfish,
Mm-hmm.
and that we can't get past someone else's viewpoint that doesn't closely mirror our own.
Do you think that's something that we can evolve out of?
Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's not something you can kind of fathom.
Not in my lifetime, no.
Mm,
I think we could potentially get there.
yeah.
Who knows what it's going to take to get us there?
Yeah. Like, will we fall down a few more times before we get to where we need to go, kind of thing?
I would assume so.
So I'm going to get real wild for a second,
Mhm.
and we can come back to where we need to be after. But do you think before this is really going to take a turn?
Mhm.
You ready? Before the dinosaurs
Mhm.
were, removed from the planet
Okay.
by the asteroid, do you think that that life would ever be capable of having a galactic footprint?
The humans
No.
or the dinosaurs?
So let's say that if they had stayed on the planet,
If dinosaurs stayed on the planet,
it's unlikely apes would have evolved the way that they did,
more than likely.
right?
Yeah.
So how would have dinosaurs evolved? Would they have become functioning brains? Would they have been able to manipulate technology?
I mean, maybe we'd have a real life dinosaurs TV show.
Right. Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe.
do you think then if that is a far-fetched possibility that that's what it looks like somewhere else?
If you break it down and you just think at it from the smallest possible scale,
Mm-hmm.
like to go from a monkey
Mm-hmm.
to a human is wild.
Yeah, definitely.
Like this is a wild idea.
Uh-huh.
That's why there's so much consternation about it.
Mm-hmm.
So like the idea of going from a dog to a human with dog-like characteristics.
Yeah.
I mean, that could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe cats, birds. Who knows?
Well, and that's like, so we have evidence of the dinosaurs, but
Yeah, in birds and alligators and that kind of thing. Yeah.
so if the planet itself, hold on, how old is Earth? 3.7 billion years, and Earth has been around for 4.3 billion years. So what is on the scale of how long there has been life on Earth?
Mm.
Math.
Mm.
Preface, we're not scientists. I don't even know if I typed this into Google correctly. But the percentage that 200,000 that humans have been around is of 3.7 billion years is 0.00054%. That's way too much time that we just don't have really, like, we have no data, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, the latest we have is what, like Rome, as far back,
Yeah, like
or like data.
history,
Yeah.
human history, civilization history. Yeah,
Mm.
like ancient Egypt, Rome. That's kind of from the cradle of life in the Middle East. Yeah. So, and that was what, 2,000 years ago?
Give or take. Yeah.
So even that, in 2,000 years, we've gone from tribalism of, everybody's everywhere and there is no interconnectivity to
Mm.
I could pick up the phone right now and call somebody clear across the world. So just the scale of time, is that the filter? Like you just get too much too quickly and that's what takes you out?
Maybe we gain enough knowledge.
Because our brains are the same size as they were
Yeah.
200,000 years ago.
Mm.
What's the carrying capacity of our brain?
Not good. Once it hits like
That's probably the funniest thing you've ever said to me ever.
the ones
You said,
that
not good.
once it hits like what 60 years old and it starts to go downhill.
Right. And that's
And that's hoping that you were
that's
kind to yourself.
60 years of input. And that input is in our time
Yeah.
so relentless.
Yeah.
Us growing up, we had phones connected to the wall,
Mm.
we didn't have a phone in our pocket. And now if you say that to somebody, it's like, oh, a child today,
Yeah.
our kids are constantly confused about like, why didn't you just call them? Like,
Yeah.
well, because we didn't have cell
Yeah.
phones.
Phones weren't a thing.
Yeah. So I think given all of the advancements that we've made, I tend to be pretty hopeful in this category.
Mm.
Like it's just been so much so fast, and I think it'll continue this way.
I mean, maybe.
And the good positive strides have overtaken some of the negative steps we've taken along the way
Mm.
of like self-annihilation, war, nuclear weapons. Like I feel like we'll get to a point where it will just kind of be collectively understood like we don't go to war anymore. That's stupid.
I mean,
Oh, that almost made you mad.
well, no, it didn't make me mad. No. I mean, hopeful
Yeah,
that's not, war isn't necessary.
right. I
But
mean, it's not. It's so counterintuitive. Like if the goal is to advance ourselves as a species, as a civilizations to live amongst the stars, we've got to stop killing each other first.
right, it's not about our civilization.
Right.
It's about my group of individuals,
Right. Right.
my like-minded folk.
What do you think it'll take to get people to understand that?
I don't know. I truly, I don't know.
Have the answers.
Yeah.
I want to think it's stuff like this. Not necessarily like me and you having a podcast.
Yeah. Or just like people sitting down and talking.
People sitting down and realizing the scope of how far we've come
Yeah.
and how far we could go if we do something as easy as like stop killing each other.
Right.
Like that's not hard to do.
It's not.
It's not. Will you have to suck it up when somebody says something you don't like? Yeah, you will. But over time, if you keep your eye on that big prize,
Yeah.
the little stupid stuff that people say will get so quiet. because they will then also be like, why is everybody so focused on something over there? Oh, okay, we want to do something bigger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and to that point, I think the younger generations are realizing that,
I hope so.
and they're more focused on it. It seems like they're more focused on community-driven things
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, individual tribes,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm. When I think generationally speaking, I feel like that's like looking back at it through a historical lens,
Mhm.
every generation thinks that the one that comes after them is like total nonsense,
Is
like
bad. Yeah.
you hippie snowflake, whatever the term is at the
Yeah.
time. But if we can look, if we believe that the children are our future, and just instill in them the idea to like keep looking up and keep trying to be a community that pushes towards excellence for all,
Yeah.
like just keeping our mind on the prize. I think distraction is the big filter, is the great filter.
Mhm.
And like that sounds stupid, but I really do think that
Makes sense.
if you just get, if you keep everybody, if everybody's in chaos all the time, nobody's focused on anything.
Yeah.
How can you get
Nobody's focused
anywhere?
on the one thing that's going to drive us forward.
Yeah, if everybody has their own little map of like, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm gonna get everything cool, it's gonna be great. I'm just gonna use my map. I'm like, well, your map isn't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, let's share maps. You have this piece, I have this piece. We can go places.
No, it could. The old infinite number of monkeys on infinite typewriters typing at random will eventually, with enough time, create like Art of War or whatever.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Well, that's a good way to circle us back around so we can close out
Mm.
of like probability speaking.
Yeah.
That is the case. Like that will happen. Ultimately, like it may take 70 billion years or whatever.
Yeah.
But at some point, a monkey randomly typing on a typewriter will write War and Peace.
Yeah.
That's the math that you're doing when you look at the galaxy in the universe.
Mhm.
Are we the only monkey that figured out how to write War and Peace on a typewriter?
I would say probably not.
Well, mathematically, you are correct.
Yeah.
The Fermi Paradox points out that, like, if that's true, we should be able to see it. And that we don't is the paradox.
Mm.
But you think it's just like a visibility thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a technology-based thing. It's
Mhm.
a visibility thing.
Do you think we can't see it or they can't project it or both?
I think it's just we can't see it. We don't have the means to see it.
Okay. Final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
The great filter. Is it still to come or have we passed it?
I think we're trying. I think we're a little bogged down at the moment with less pressing matters. I think it's going to be another couple 100 years before we break out of this loop and progress forward.
Mm.
I think right now we're a little stuck. Looking at it from my perspective,
It's the only perspective you've got.
in the 40 years that I've been on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
and another 50 or so that I've maybe have left. I don't.
He's got to make it.
I've got to make it
years.
a particular point.
Yeah.
I don't
45. We're coming up on 5.
I don't foresee us getting out of this particular loop. I think it's going to be another, like I said, maybe 200 years before we maybe progress forward.
You will have a legacy on this planet that will see it.
Maybe. I hope.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting point of like our window to all of this is only, if we're talking about like percentages of how long there's been life on the planet, person gets what, 80 years.
Yeah, infinitesimally small.
Right. No, I'm hopeful. I want to think the great filter's behind us, that the hardest parts are over,
Mm-hmm.
and we just have to
And it's just smooth
organize.
sailing from here?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. It's not that there are no obstacles. It's if we could set aside the chaos or just look at something bigger than what's right here,
Sure. I agree with that.
then we can do amazing things.
Yeah.
We just
We
have to,
have the capability of doing incredible things.
I mean, look at
In the literal sense of the word, incredible things.
yes. Yes.
We just have to get past our
And
own
the
nose.
only thing you need to do to realize that is just look at how far we've come.
Yeah. I don't think most want to.
It's not smooth sailing,
Mm.
but I want to think it's behind us.
I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope so.
You'll just be hopeful for the sake of this conversation.
Mm.
Well, did you learn something today?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good. So you're gonna have casual conversations about the Kardashev scale?
Probably not.
It's a cool name to say.
It is a cool name.
Yeah. All right, well, if you're still here, thank you for sticking around.
Yep.
And we will see everybody next week
Next week.
when the topic will be
I have no idea.
I don't have any idea. But we'll see you there.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.